This is WFYI News Now. It's July 26th, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, Indiana leaders want the public to share how they feel about the overhaul of high school diploma requirements. More than 20 wild rabbits are found dead in Tippecanoe County due to so-called rabbit fever. And people in need of abortion care in Iowa will soon face severe restrictions.
They feel, it feels like such a heaviness that they're forced to carry, and then extreme gratitude that they're able to find care through us.
Those stories are coming up, but first, Martin University hosted a job fair on Thursday to help formerly incarcerated people find employment. The university partnered with the Indiana Department of Corrections to provide more than 45 vendors to people re-entering the workforce from incarceration. Job fair attendee James Walker was incarcerated last year, and he has not been able to find employment even with a college degree.
You know, they'll give me the position because I'm qualified, and then they'll run like the background and be like, sorry, it's like we can't,
In 2021, the recidivism rate in Marion County was about 46%, while statewide the rate was about 34%. According to the IDOC, when a previous offender remains unemployed, the recidivism rate increases to 60%. Lee Stanberry is an employment coach with Public Advocates and Community Reentry, or PACE-ND. He says many employers are not willing to give individuals an opportunity to reintegrate into the workforce.
They want to be successful just like everybody else. They want to have a nice job. They want to have a nice house. They want to raise some kids. That's all they want.
The fair offered a variety of employment opportunities with organizations like Goodwill and Indigo, and a range of salaries based on experience and skills. Indiana state education leaders want the public to share how they feel about the overhaul of high school diploma requirements. Some Democratic leaders have begun to seek out their own voices on the changes. From WFYI's Education Desk, Rachel Fredette has more.
Hamilton County community members are invited to share their take on the proposed diploma changes, good or bad, to State Representative Victoria Garcia Wilburn. The event is 6:30 p.m. Monday at the Hamilton County Public Library in Fishers. It's one of a few events the Democratic lawmaker unveiled to garner more feedback on new diplomas. Wilburn says parents and educators in her district have shared an outpouring of concern about the new model. The state's revamp of diplomas began in the spring. A 2023 state law tasked the state board to adopt new requirements by the end of the year. I'm Rachel Fredette.
A public hearing on the diploma changes will be held July 30th at 10 a.m. in the Indiana Government Center South. More than 20 wild rabbits have been found dead in Tippecanoe County due to tularemia, also known as rabbit fever. Rabbits and rodents are especially susceptible to the disease that can be spread through tick or deer fly bites, contaminated water, or direct contact with infected animals. The Indiana Department of Natural Resources said in a press release that no humans or domestic animals have been reported infected. While humans can be infected with the virus, it is not transmittable to other humans and can be treated with antibiotics. You can protect yourself by wearing insect repellent, checking for ticks, and avoiding the handling of dead animals. Signs of infected wildlife can include lethargy, incoordination, and spams. You can report any sightings to the state. And for our final story today, people in need of abortion care in Iowa will soon face severe abortion restrictions. A law that would ban the procedure as early as 6 weeks of pregnancy is set to go into effect next week. This will likely not just impact Iowans, but will shift access to care across the Midwest. Side Effects Public Media's Natalie Krebs reports.
It's lunch hour at the Planned Parenthood Clinic in Mankato, Minnesota. The clinic is small and it's pretty quiet. Brooke Zonley steps out of her office and gives me a quick tour.
This is our back office space. We have about 5 exam rooms that we can use for both family planning and medication abortion services.
Zonley is the health center manager for the clinic in southern Minnesota. It's tucked away in a strip mall close to a large state university, about an hour from the Iowa border. She says as Iowa's so-called heartbeat law has worked its way through the courts, the clinic has been getting ready for more people crossing the border for care.
We started providing medication abortion services in January, and we're actually looking at cross-training staff right now to increase access on Wednesdays when we do provide that service.
The Iowa law bans abortion when heartbeat activity is detected, which can be as early as 6 weeks of pregnancy. Planned Parenthood estimates it will block nearly all abortions in the state. Shira Klain is a nurse practitioner who works at Planned Parenthood clinics across Minnesota. She says she's already seen Iowa patients traveling as far as 3 or 4 hours to get to the nearest Minnesota clinic.
They feel crushed. It feels like such a heaviness that they're forced to carry, and then extreme gratitude that they're able to find care through us.
Last year, more than 900 Iowans sought abortions in Nebraska, Minnesota, and Illinois. That's according to data from the Guttmacher Institute, which supports abortion rights. Candace Gibson is the director of state policy at the Guttmacher Institute. She says that's because even without the so-called heartbeat law in effect, Iowa still has many abortion restrictions.
You have a forced 24-hour waiting period after the counseling, forced ultrasound. There's parental notice requirements in Iowa. And so all of those restrictions add up in terms of obstacles for a person to get care.
Since the U.S. Supreme Court's Dobbs decision 2 years ago, which ended the constitutional right to abortion, Planned Parenthood has expanded abortion services in Midwestern states like Minnesota, Nebraska, Kansas, and Illinois. That's to accommodate the increase in people coming from neighboring states like the Dakotas, Missouri, Indiana, Kentucky, and now Iowa that have severely restricted or nearly eliminated the procedure. Gibson says this influx of abortion seekers can put a strain on clinics and providers.
As states think through policies to protect and sort of meet the need that's coming from other states, they also have to make sure that residents within their respective states can continue to get that care.
Planned Parenthood of Illinois reports about a quarter of their patients now come from out of state, a significant increase since Dobbs. Julie Ugel is with Planned Parenthood of Illinois. She says that they're monitoring how Iowa's new law will change where people travel for abortion care regionally.
So it's hard to tell, and there are a lot of factors that go into why someone might travel to Illinois versus travel to Minnesota versus fly to California.
Meanwhile, in Iowa, healthcare providers are still trying to figure out what they can and can't do under the new law. Francesca Turner is an OBGYN in Des Moines. She says the Iowa law has exceptions for rape, incest, and life-threatening conditions, but it's a hard line to draw in real time.
If I see something that I can't take care of, I can call my high-risk OB colleagues and specialists and get their opinion from their experiences and make those decisions in real time. I don't want to stop after we make some decisions and say, well, maybe I should call my hospital attorney and get some more information if I can act now or not.
She says this means many of those Iowa patients will still end up crossing borders for abortion care, or won't get it at all. Natalie Krebs, Side Effects Public Media.
Side Effects Public Media is a health reporting collaboration of NPR member stations across the Midwest. It's based here at WFYI. That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Drew Daudelin with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you like today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back on Monday.